एक बार सोच के छोड़ और लग के कर दिखाने में, मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी, और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में कि अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है, वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी। ये एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानपुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और 7वें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ, मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ, मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा है। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज
Very good afternoon to all the dear friends and family for joining. Hello, Siddharth, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, hi.
Yeah,
A very good afternoon to all the dear friends for joining this particular webinar. We would like to thank each one of you for the registration. Franchise India teams welcomes each one of you to our business opportunity with Chai series. This is a digital representation of the business opportunity which we have got for you. This is a 45-minute session where first we'll invite the brand founder to talk about the business proposal he has got for us. Then we'll move to the panel discussion. Hence, we request each one of you to please share your question and answers and feedback in question and answer box. We welcome management team of Franchise India, Gaurav sir and Sonia ma'am. This particular webinar is hosted by both of them, and during the panel discussion, they'll be sharing their insights as well as viewpoint with each one of us. The business opportunity which we have got for each one of you is Chique. It's a retail opportunity where we have invited Mr. Siddhant, who is the founder at Chique, to talk about this great opportunity. They are already having a presence in India with 16 plus successfully running outlets. And today he'll be sharing his entire vision and mission of this particular brand which he has established. Thank you so much, Siddharth, for sparing time. Today you've been very busy, but you got time for us to talk about the business opportunity with each and every investor, those who have joined us today. So we welcome you. We request you to start the presentation as well as share your understanding as well as journey.
Hi, Archana, how are you? Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for all the viewers who have also taken out time and they're here to see the presentation. I'll just quickly share my screen without wasting time. Is it visible to everyone?
Yes, Siddharth, we can see that.
Okay, great. So hi everyone, thank you for joining this webinar, and I would like to present an interesting franchise opportunity for all of you, for whoever is viewing right now. There's a brand, this brand which I launched, it's called Chique, very, very close to my heart, and it was started in 2015. Little bit about me. My name is Siddhant Gupta. I'm the founder of Chique. You know, I've been a Delhi boy throughout my life. Soon after my graduation, I ended up joining my father's business, which is exports. And fashion has always been a integral part of our entire household. And now in 2015, I ended up launching a brand called Chique, and it's been doing pretty well. So a little bit about our brand. Chique is a modern Indo-Western wear brand, and we primarily cater to two categories in our brand. It's called one is a casual wear collection, and one is an evening wear collection. So I'll give you a little bit brief about our casual wear collection and evening wear collection. In casual wear, we make shirts, we make trousers, pants, and tunics. And the USP of our product is prints, which we end up buying from the Paris Vision show, which happens once a year. So Paris Vision show gets the best artists and the designers in the world who get the best prints on the platform, and we end up choosing from those prints which are copyrighted and exclusive prints. So we have a very, very exclusive sort of a product when it comes to casual wear, and it is loved by all women of all age groups and sizes. And we put them in the Indian body structure of the Indian woman. And that's why it's doing very, very well for us in all categories as well. The second category that we cater to is the evening wear category. And this is also a very, very strong category in the second half of the year, which is from Rakhi August till say the end of season sale in February. We cover the entire festive season with this. India is a land of festivals where you have multiple religions and multiple worships and multiple festivals which go on. Plus, to add on to that, there are marriages which probably drive the Indian economy completely. So we cater to this current demand of an Indian modern woman who, in a middle class or an upper middle class household, has at least 20 to 25 events in a year to attend, and she wants to dress up for those events. And with the trend of social media and digital platforms and sharing of all the images happening so much, it's very challenging for a woman to repeat the same outfit. She won't be comfortable being seen in a formal attire repeatedly or more than twice. So, and because of that challenge, she does not want to spend too much money on her outfit to dress up for an occasion. So this is where we come in, wherein we can dress up the woman for an occasion for less than 6,000 rupees for her event, which is very, very pocket friendly, and she doesn't have to burn say 25,000-30,000 to dress up for occasions. And that's why this category is growing very, very rapidly for us, and it's contributing a hefty percentage of our top line turnover. So Chique as a brand is very, very inclusive in its nature. What I mean by inclusive is that we want to dress up women regardless of their age, regardless of their size. So what I mean is that we can dress up a double XL or a triple XL woman, and we can dress up a small, extra small woman also. And also in terms of age groups, we can dress up a woman who's 70 plus, and we can also dress up a young girl with our fashion dresses. So we are very, very inclusive in our client category, and we don't really have a defined audience per se. So we can dress up every woman. So it's a huge opportunity there as well. So the next slide is that, why choose a Chique franchise over our competitors? So this is a question that a lot of investors have, not in just our field, in a lot of fields, that, why should you go for one brand and not the other brand? In our case, there are many brands who are in our playing field, like you have a Biba or a W and an and Global Desi, who are more established than us in the franchising world. But why should you choose us over them is a very, very simple reason, that there are too many stores of these brands already existing in various cities of India. They're over expanded. So for example, if you pick up a city like Bombay, any of our competitive brands would have at least 30 stores or 40 stores of each brand. So when you be the 41st franchisee or the 41st store in Bombay for that brand, you will not only have to compete with the other brands which are operating in that city, you'll have to compete with the existing stores of the same brand. So your challenges will be multifold as compared to when you come with us. So we are a new growing brand. We are a new brand where there's huge potential to increase your profits and your sales, because we don't make you compete with our existing stores. That's not our purpose. So we want to choose a franchise. We want to nurture a franchise when you open it, and we want to allow you to have a room to grow to say 4 or 5 stores. So you have tremendous room to grow with us. And apart from the product specialities, which I've already spoken about, the USPs of the products, this is a core factor why you should choose us over the other brands. Thirdly, some of the large brands that operate in our space are outside funded companies, whereas that's not the case with us. We are a self-funded company, and the decision making is totally in our control. Opening a franchise is very simple. Opening a franchise is not the challenge. The challenge is to run the franchise, operate the franchise, nurture the franchise, sustain the franchise. So there are a lot of operational challenges which a franchise faces. All problems can be solved, all challenges can be solved if there's a company who is helping you take actions on it, which is taking actions for your challenges in a very efficient and a fast manner. If you have a problem today, you don't need to wait for a week to get it solved with us. It is an immediate basis. We have weekly review calls which address all the challenges. We take actions on your challenges immediately, because we don't have like a huge team of board of directors. We have a small core team which takes decisions very, very fast, because the control is in our hand. We have complete control over our design and manufacturing. So, we have a team of very, very efficient designers who are working day and night to churn out new designs as per the, what the fashion world requires, what the customers require, understanding their requirements. And so design is very strong, and it is all controlled in-house. So there are no leakages of designs. So you'll in a way have a little bit of exclusivity. It won't be copied, and it won't be just everywhere. We have a design specific team which is in-house, and our designs are not leaked. So that's a very big strength that we have. The second strength is the manufacturing, which is one of the very, very critical points for a brand, is because, when you launch a season with say 100 styles, so nobody knows that, out of those 100 styles, how many styles will do well and how many styles won't do well, because that's bound to happen. But 70% styles do well, 30% styles don't do well. But the trick is that, when you know that these 70 styles are doing well, you should have the strength to reproduce it in a very short period of time. Because if you want to capture the summer season, you need to reproduce them and send it in the summer season only. You can't send it in the winter season, then the time is gone. So if you have a factory outside operating, and if you outsource it, it's not going to really help you or benefit you, because you need to be spot on. You need to be able to make more of what you sell more, and you should have that capability. So this manufacturing strength that we have, which is in-house, we have a team of like a very huge team of 500 workers working with us, and we can ensure that the product which sells well is always going to be in stock with you, so that you don't lose a sale. It is very, very important. I have stood myself on the sale floor. I've been a salesperson myself for a very long period of time, and I know it gets very difficult, and it gets very frustrating when you don't have a garment and the customer is standing on your head that I want to buy this garment, and you don't have a size for it, or you don't have that color for it. It's very frustrating. And we make sure, because I come from that experience, I know that, this is something which needs to be totally controlled, and we make sure that we control it through our manufacturing setup. A strong CRM software is the backbone of a retail structure, in my view. It's not the fancy store, it's not like the fancy marketing or getting a celebrity on board to promote your product. The cost of retaining a customer is 1/10 than cost of acquiring a customer. अगर हिंदी में if I explain it, एक कस्टमर को नया लाने के लिए if you have to spend 10 rupees, उसको retain करने के लिए you have to spend 1 rupee. So it is very, very important that your customer relationship management software is very, very precise, and it can retarget your customers in a very efficient manner so that they end up buying more. You don't want to spend money over and over again to build a new customer base. You need to spend money to retain it. So we have a very good loyalty program. We have a very good CRM software, which allows you and allows us to retain our customers. And then, when you open a franchise, we have a very good training and support system with some of the very experienced players that have been with us for the past 4-5 years. And we have a very good training and support system. So whenever you open a franchise, we would invite your employees and you to come and get trained at our stores on the floor at the head office. We will give you an insight about the brand, about us, about how the product needs to sell. Because again, I come from a sales perspective, being on the floor. So I know what the questions are asked from the customer and how to sell. So that is something very, very important to me personally. And I make sure that it is communicated also through the franchisees to our customers. A little bit about the financials, about how, what is the kind of investment that is incurred to open a franchise for Chique. The total investment is 20 lakh rupees for our store. This is, I'm taking into consideration, we are going to be opening a 400 to 500 square feet store, which is our average size of all our stores that we run currently. The investment is divided into 2 parts. The first part is the interior of the store. The second part is the stock deposit. So if I explain it, that in order to run a store, what do you need? You need one location, you need a nice store made, and you need the stock and the staff to sell the products. So the store banane ka jo aapka expense hai, that is going to be 10 lakh rupees, which includes, your lighting, your tiles, your branding material, your paint, all those civil works, and your software and your mannequins and all that. So we take an upper limit of 10 lakh rupees. Generally, our franchisees end up doing it in 7 to 8 lakhs also. But we try to keep like an upper limit so that, you don't go out of budget in case your costs escalate. Also, a very important point I would like to mention in this is that this money, you're not going to be paying to us. The franchisee does not pay to us. It gets it done from the contractor. They have the full liberty to use whoever, whenever, wherever, provided our design sensibilities are met. So we will be providing you a design for the store, a design layout, which will be free of cost. We don't want to make money here in this fashion. We will be giving you a free of cost design layout of the store, of how it needs to be made. You will get it made from your contractor at your expense. And we don't have any authorized vendors. We don't have any authorized dealers where we have cuts or commissions or anything set. You are free to do the store interiors at your liberty. That is one point I would like to make. The second part of the investment, 10 lakhs, is the stock deposit. So in this, you will be giving us 10 lakhs worth of stock deposit, which will be a security deposit, against which we will be giving you 20 lakhs worth of MRP stock, so that you can start running a store. So your store is set, you have stock, we will help you train the right kind of people and hire the right kind of people, and you can start selling. So that's how you will open your store. The margins that we offer on the sales are 40% net of sales. To put it simply, if your store does 10 lakh rupees of sale, your margin would be 4 lakhs, out of which you will be doing your rental expenses, your salary expenses, and your electricity expenses. And then based on this calculation, your ROI can be anywhere between 24 to 30% minimum. It is much higher in a lot of our franchisee cases, which I will be explaining in the next slide. Our success stories. So like I said that, I started this brand in 2015, and we had very, very humble beginnings. We opened a store in Defense Colony Market in a small basement store where I was the store manager there because it was very close to my heart. I wanted to be there. I remember the first day we sold for 10,000 rupees was the sale of the first day. And, it was very exciting moment to do the first sale in our first store. But since then, in a span of 5 years, we've grown to a healthy store count of 16, and we have 5 more stores opening very soon. So we have, say, a Lucknow opening very soon, and we have Patna, we've got Hyderabad opening very soon, and we'll be touching 21 stores before this Diwali. So we started franchising in 2018, and one of our first franchisees was Calcutta in West Bengal. It's in a mall, and it's a very interesting story which I would like to share. That this franchisee was not very confident about our brand, and we had to really get into a lot of dialogues with them, and because they were apprehensive about this new brand which has come from nowhere and wants to open a franchise. But somehow, we ended up convincing them by supporting them and stuff. So this store is a very small store, which is 350 square feet in a mall in Calcutta. And since the time it has opened, it has not really seen a bad month. Even during COVID times, it did not see a bad month. It has been doing phenomenally well. And now we're actually in talks with it to double the store size, because we don't even have this format right now. Plus the sales are so good that we want to capture more of Calcutta. Probably we open another store with the same franchisee because they're so happy with it. Another story which is very interesting is the state of Gujarat for us. So Gujarat happened to us during this magic COVID year, which has been a very talking point for a lot of retailers across India and actually across the globe. So with the drift of people going online and stuff, so people thought that offline is going to take a bad hit. So we took a plunge, and Gujarat, we opened 3 stores in COVID. So the first one was Ahmedabad, which was 2020, and we opened this in September, and the store just took off like a rocket in September, and it has been like the same as our Calcutta store. It has been doing phenomenally well. And I would just like to share a little bit of the economics also of this store. So this store currently is at a rental of 1 lakh rupees. It does an average sale of 11 lakh rupees. So the franchise margin on a base of 40% is 4,40,000 rupees. Out of 4,40,000 rupees, he pays the rent of 1 lakh, and he pays salaries and electricity, which is approximately 75,000 rupees. So his net profit out of a sale, out of running this whole enterprise, is approximately over 2,50,000 rupees per month. So that turns out to be 30 lakhs in a year on an investment of 20 lakhs. So it is a very, very high ROI. It is 150% ROI. It's not even, in the previous slide, I explained that we have any ROI between 24 to 30% minimum. This store does 150% ROI. Same cases with Surat. Surat we opened in the 2021 mode of COVID. We opened in June. Just 2 months ago, we have opened. This store has become the talk of the town because with our marketing efforts, with all the local bloggers and the influencers and very good partners in Surat, we are a very, very popular store in Surat, and this store is doing 15 lakhs worth of sale with just a rental of 1 lakh or 1,25,000 rupees. So it is, the ROI is huge and the potentials are huge for the franchisees, and they are just loving this, and they are actually looking at expanding into different states, not even just cities. They're looking at expanding into different states with us. Some of our Delhi stores do, we are fairly very popular in Delhi, and our Delhi stores do very well. And we've already opened 6 stores in Delhi, but we don't want to open more stores in Delhi right now because of my first slide, which I spoke, that we don't want to over expand in the city and eat up into your sales. So we like to limit ourselves to a certain number of store count in a city. And that's how we maintain a healthy profitability, healthy profit margin, because I come from a Banya community, and profit is a lot. Profit is very important for us. So we make sure that everything is very profit driven. And I would just like to invite everybody to take up this opportunity, as this is a very lucrative and very at a very nascent stage of growing. So if you be a part of the journey, I'm sure that you will have much more room to grow if you join now than when you join later. So that's about it. That's all I have, and I'm ready to take your questions.
Okay, thank you so much, Siddharth. It was quick presentation, but you touched upon all the important aspects. And while you started only 6 years back, and many outlets which you mentioned started in the most challenging time, it is indeed interesting to see the economics of the stores which they're doing in these times. So friends, I'll just I will request all of you, if you have any questions, please see the Q&A box down, put your questions, and even if you have a property or a city of your interest, please put that also. And I would like to second what I think I did hear Siddharth talking about the opportunity at large. And if you look at the overall category of women wear, the specialty store segment is currently dominating the market, because of maybe a higher customer reliability, dependence, and also there's a significant shift that we are seeing in the branded wear market. From ready to stitch clothing to ready to wear market is what we are seeing a big growth in. And at the same time, while it might look like there are a lot of companies coming in, and we've talked about, I think I did hear Siddharth talk about some of the immediate national players in the segment, but what we are seeing is also entrepreneurs who are coming up or emerging with differentiated business models, that is influenced by fast fashion as a category. And they've come out with an interesting model which does not take too much of an area. So about 400-500 square feet is the area that we're talking about, and where the entire investment is also to an extent de-risked. It's not the investment in the stock that you do and that stays with you. Rather, that's just a security deposit against which the company gives you stock, which is almost double. Against 10 lakh security, there's 20 lakhs stock, which is given to a franchise partner, and the balance is the investment that you do on the interiors. So I'll take some questions, Siddharth, and I see questions coming from our audience. And since you touched upon store economics, and we did understand, I think one of the stores that you talked about, the sales and also the rental perhaps which goes in. But if you look and we average out, typically, what kind of typical, operational expenses ideally a store should have, and in what percentage should these expenses fall in? If I look at maybe a rental, and I saw your locations from some of the marquee malls which you're operating out of to high street locations where you currently operate out of, what is the ideal store economics that you understand, and against a benchmark, or I would say a store throughput, so if you're expecting maybe a sale of 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, whatever that number is, against that, what should be the ideal number of ideal rental one should look at, one. And my other question would also be if you can elaborate a little bit on the other expenses at the store, which is maybe the staff which is required, the store manager. If you can quickly touch upon these aspects, please.
See, the rental of the store should be a factor of the kind of revenue it can generate.
Right.
So if some of our stores do 30 lakhs, so I don't mind paying 5 lakh rent on it, but on a general, when we propose a franchise, and if we talk about a small town or say a tier 2 city, so we can expect a sale of 10 lakhs from a store, and we should look at a rental between 1.5 lakhs to 1.75 lakhs for basically a 15% should be your cost of rent, or it can go maximum to 20% if you have a premium location where you see like a bumper growth, or if you see that it has potential to go very high, so you can go to up to 20% of your top line which you look at. So in a small town, I would say anywhere between 1.5 lakhs to 1.75. We like I mentioned, Ahmedabad and Surat, we're paying 1 to 1,25,000 as well. So you have to get a little lucky, where we also help you. We activate our channel of brokers to get you the right space, or if you want to, because we're also qualified with all the brands. So a lot of brands have, challenges getting into like a Phoenix Mall or a DLF Mall or a Lulu Mall or whatever. So, but we are already there. We already have good relationships, so we can help you scout the space, which will have that sort of a bumper growth potential. So that is about the rent. The second is the operational expenses, which are fairly common across all categories, depending on the pay scale of the city. So if you're talking about metropolitans, then we require just a 3-member team, which is going to be 1 store manager, 1 fashion consultant, and 1 helper, which can be in the range of 25,000, 15,000, and 10,000. So the whole expense can be 50,000 or 60,000 on salaries, and your rental and your electricity and your phone bills can be, say, 15,000. So you can look anywhere between 75,000 to 80,000. Plus you can have some petty or maintenance, expenses, which can be 5,000 also. So 80,000 should be a fairly good number for a good metropolitan city or a tier 1 city. In a tier 2 city, you can probably discount it by 10 to 15% because the salaries are lesser in those cities. So that's what.
Sure. And when we talk about the stock selection, and since we have a lot of categories, how is that stock selection done? And especially when we're talking about a lot of locations and the preferences of maybe the people in these locations and markets are different. So what kind of intelligence would you give to a franchise partner on selection of the stock is one question I have. And if you look at an area of 400 square feet, typically, what becomes a per square feet pieces that we put maybe in a 400 square feet of space?
Okay. So to answer your first question, what is the kind of intelligence? So there are 2 factors in this, which I would like to mention. We are also operating in the online space. So the cities where we are not currently physically present, we are present there online. So we have a huge collection of data from those cities.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives us an indication about what is the kind of styles and what are the sizes which are selling in those cities, which also helps in the marketing front, because when you open the franchise, we give you access to that data and we make sure that clientele comes to your store. We give you have a free base when you open the store, but that's a separate topic which I didn't mention earlier. So we have an online we have data to this. We have access to this online data, which helps us understand what is the city thinking. What is the city wanting to do? If it's going to be a high price point thing, if it's going to be a yellow color, is it is it festive driven, or is it like casual driven? What are the sizes which are running? The second point is that you asked me about stock selection. We're open to both. That the franchisee wants to select the stock, it's fine. But since I've dealt with so many franchisees, the franchisees also really don't know what's going to sell. It's just like it's in a way a whims and fancy that, okay, fine, we've selected our stock and this is going to do well for the franchise. But that doesn't really always work. So what we always recommend, we are open again. I'm again saying that we are open for you to choose the product, but that might not help you as much as what I'm proposing. So what we generally propose is that we have 100 styles to offer. We send you 100 styles to start your store. We monitor it closely after 1 month or 2 months. We study it, because we have such a strong ERP software. We have an analytical team sitting at the back. So who will study, what is selling? The sales will only talk. Look and feel doesn't really matter so much. It's just about the sales. Sales are important. So आपका जो sell होगा, we will replenish it, and we will send you those kind of styles more than what will not sell, because it is not in our interest to send you stock which doesn't sell. How will I make money? I'm not working on a one-time franchisee fee, or I'm not trying to make money in other areas. I make money only when you make money. So it's very important for me that you sell. Otherwise, how will it benefit me? So it's in my interest, so that you have the best sales. And this is what we propose, that we give you the complete stock, and over a period of 1 month, we study what is selling, and then we keep on improvising as we go, because it's a long-term relationship. You can't just, because when a customer enters, you don't know what he's thinking. So it's very important to show him everything.
Sure, that's helpful. And you would have, like you mentioned, you already have presence through your online platform, which also give you intelligence of what is being demanded by people. And that is something which is passed on to the franchise partner also. And Siddhant, this brings me to the other question, because we talked about, omni-channel presence, and when an exclusive outlet also comes up in a location and with their own presence online, do you integrate these two worlds? So will a franchise partner get the right to have fulfillment in that, I would say, radius, city, however you want to put that?
No, fulfillment is done by us centrally from our head office. But like I said, that entire database of customers is shared with the franchisee, and it's again in our interest that the person in Hyderabad ends up going to the store in Hyderabad rather than buying it online. The reason is, it's the whole matter of touch and feel. When I propose an ad through a digital medium to, so say you, right? So you will not trust the brand as much as what you will trust the brand when you're in a physical format. So your human nature to do an impulsive buy, and the size of your basket size will tremendously increase if you enter a physical store and versus you buy it online. So it's always in our interest that we divert all the customers there, but due to some logistical challenges, we're not able to do it. We're not able to do the omni channel, but it's in our interest that we give you that database and they buy from you.
Sure.
Because it's more profitable for us.
All right. So what you do is you share the database of your already existing clientele to a franchise partner, to which he can
share
market.
the database, we send them personalized invites, we throw a launch party for them, and we make sure that they come to your store and visit you, because we'll be giving them discount vouchers, we'll be giving like inaugural discounts. And why won't they come? They've already experienced the product online. Why would they not want to come offline and see the entire range?
Right. That's helpful. And I'll also take some questions, Siddhant. And one question is on the EOS sale, which is end of season sale. And we talked about flat margins of 40%. Now, is that across the entire season, or there's something special that we do during the discounting seasons?
We have flat margins across the season. So your margin is 40% regardless of the discount.
Okay.
Agar aapki sale, supposingly, if you're selling for 100 rupees, if you sell a product of 100 rupees for 100 rupees, your margin is 40 rupees. But if you sell a garment for 100 rupees for 50 rupees, your margin is still 40%, which is 20 rupees. So you get 20 rupees on the net sale. Discount is sort of absorbed by us.
All right. Okay, that's helpful. And quickly, I'll take questions which I'm seeing in the Q&A box, and starting with the rollout, Siddhant, because you're fairly penetrated in about 9 odd states, with cluster in Delhi and where you don't want to currently penetrate further. So which would be the cities of your immediate interest? And I saw some of the cities where you had maybe one location, for example, Kolkata, Haryana is Gurgaon, where one location where you're running. So would you want to comment one on the priority cities, and which are the cities where you think you would want to create maybe more, clusters like you've done in Delhi?
1 second, I just have it. So some of the cities, you're talking about the clusters where we want to create?
No, all, so I would believe that, some cities, there might be bigger potential. You feel I have one outlet, but there's a potential to have maybe 6 more or 7 more. So one is that, and the cities where you want to penetrate. So overall market penetration in terms of your focus cities.
So the kind of cities that we currently cater, we are really keen to open is, we're not there in Mumbai. We're not there in Chandigarh. We're not there in Bangalore, Chennai, Indore, Guwahati, Kanpur, Jammu. So these are some of the top, 8-9 cities where we are wanting to reach out through this medium. And
outside your existing presence in the cities. And how about the current cities where you already have a presence in? Is that something also which is on the radar? Would you look at?
Not right now, because, like I said, that we want to have, we want to keep room for franchisees to grow. So we want to let them be right now and just want to give them a chance to open a store themselves. So we already connected with them. So we don't want to open another store with them. We don't want to open another store with somebody else. So we want to give them room to grow. So we don't want to cut off their wings right now.
Okay. Now, but is there some kind of radius that we give to a partner, or
Yeah,
for example,
we give about 3 to 5 kilometers depending on the city.
depending on the city? That's helpful. Okay, I'll take a question from Mr. Pankaj Kumar, which is how much is a franchise fee and how long is the agreement term for? So we talked about 20 lakhs as the overall investment. Does that include any part of franchise fees too?
No, we don't have any franchise fee.
There's
Like
no
I said,
franchise.
my our purpose is to drive sales. I've been on the floor for a very long time. I know sales are very, very important. Nothing else can actually make a franchisee happier than getting sales. So it's so we don't, and that's why we've linked ourselves to that, because we are confident that we'll be able to sell it.
Right.
So we don't have a franchise fee.
Correct. So it's just the investment, and the other investment is the stock security deposit. And I'll take this question quickly from Mr. Jagdish. And this is regarding the security deposit of 10 lakhs. He's asking that's refundable. That's a security deposit, so that is refundable. And his second question in continuation is the stock correction policy that we have. While we did
Stock
answer.
correction, it's 100% stock correction. We have a 100% stock correction. So supposedly if you have a spring summer, we generally start our spring summer in February. So February 15th to August 15th, you sell the summer stock, and whatever is left on August 15th, we pick it up completely 100%, and we give you the winter stock. There's no, you don't have any dead stock basically.
Okay, I think that was the same question which I see Bhavya Bhatt also asking. How do you manage returns and stocks? And typically, what is the time frame that we take? We do it every, say, 30 days, 45 days, 2 months, or these are 4 seasons typically that we, want the stock to be there on the shelf. So how does this
Sorry,
work?
I didn't understand your question.
So, I think the question which Bhavya is asking is, a return of the stocks. And while this is 100% stock correction, so anything which is slow moving, not moving, is returned back and replaced by something which is fast moving. So how often can this stock be replaced is what the question is.
We can replace it anytime, but I would just like to add to this now again. Say we started our season in February 15th. Okay, February 15th to April 15th, we let the stock sell at a full price. Okay, April 15th, we go on a mid-season sale. So the products which are left behind, we make them more attractive by giving a 20% discount on it. So April 15th to June 15th, we end up giving it 20% off. It gets more attractive. Whatever is left after that, we should allow it to go through the end of season sale, right? That makes sense. Otherwise, if I pick it up mid-season, then the franchisee will only lose. So there's no sense of picking it up mid-season. You should let the whole season pass, make it more attractive by offering more discounts on it, and just pick it up after whatever's left, and that's dead stock.
Helpful. And maybe one more question, which I don't know which city is this, but there is somebody who has a place in some mall in some city. I don't know what city and mall we're talking about here, but comparatively, if I look at the area which he's mentioned, is a very small area of 210 square feet, which is 50% of what we need. So if there's
it's okay, 410 you said.
210, it's 210, which is 50% of what we need.
210 would be very small.
Too small.
Yeah.
So Siddhant, any specific profile of people, and based on your own experience of, partners that you currently have, is there something very specifically that you look for in a franchise partner?
See, apart from the financial stability, we look for passionate people who are willing to learn. We are there to support you. Basically, you should have some passion to run it. So that's what drives it. Everything else can be done. You should just be energetic and passionate, and that's about it. Everything else we can do.
Helpful. And Siddhant, how long does it take for a store to get operational? From the date that we have maybe a site approved by you, or maybe the property approved, how long does it take for somebody to set up the entire store?
After the site is approved, we take anywhere between 30 to 45 days. After the site is, after the lease is signed for the site.
And the work
because we have an in-house interior team also who shares designs very, very quickly, which is free of cost. We don't charge for it. So, but it depends on the contractor how fast he can make it. Generally, they can make it in 30 days.
All right.
So I
That's
take an
good.
upper limit of 45 days because training and the stock disbursements and, some things, just a room for.
Sure. And maybe last question, which I see has been put up by Mr. Prabal Sur. He says if somebody wants to sell online and later on want to convert into maybe a store, is that possible? And I would say, Mr. Prabal, because currently is already fulfilling the company, the demand of the customer through their portal all across. They're looking for equity. They already have equity stores and now they have started franchising in the last 2.5 years. So they would look at only physical stores in these cities. So that is the only partnership they're looking at. Siddhant, anything that you want to add on to it? If there's some distributor model is perhaps, I think that the gentleman would like
No,
to.
we are looking for primarily just like franchisees, retail offline franchisees.
Great, that's helpful. And friends, I will request, because in some cases, I don't see your cities coming in. And if your cities can be shared with us, we can reach out to Siddhant, we can get your call aligned with him and his team. And I see one question which I have not answered, and Vineet Agarwal on the investment. I hope, Vineet, that is covered. It's a 20 lakh investment where 10 lakhs is a security deposit, which is refundable, and the balance 10 is your investment on the interiors, which is required. And it is a 5-term agreement. Is that right, Siddhant? I think we missed on the term of the agreement. Is that a 5-year agreement?
Yeah, 5-year. We are locked. It's a 5-year lock-in, but for the franchisee, it's just a 1-year lock-in.
All right. And the franchise
we are locked in for 5 years. The agreement can be for 5 years, where we are locked in for 5 years. The franchisee is only locked in for a year.
Okay. All right. And as far as renewal is concerned, he can renew at the expiry of the term, or we have
of course, we can mutually
without
do
an extra fee. He can, and obviously depending on the potential and the performance of the store, that can be done. Great, that's very helpful, Siddhant. And as we close, I will also request maybe one message that you want to send to all who are listening live and on the webinar.
Yeah, I would just like to invite everybody, and because the fashion business is very close to my heart, and it's very, very interesting and a very lively sort of a business. So it's very nice that if somebody would like to get into it, plus with the commerce and the economics working so well around the whole business plan, I don't see any reason for somebody to, somebody who's willing and passionate about something should definitely take it up and do it, because we are growing. We also want partners. We also want to get, expanded in India. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Siddhant, and we wish you all the best in making your brand penetration and being a pan-India brand. I think there are only few cities, if you look at the top 10 cities, including Bangalore, Bombay, 2 cities which you mentioned, you don't have a presence in. And we look forward to receiving maybe questions or inquiries from everybody who's keen to look forward and getting connected with Siddhant in the coming week. Ashna, is there a date that we have selected for a discovery day? And if you would want to announce that date too?
Ma'am, we have to yet come back to you on this. So Siddhant, as we discussed, if we can keep it on 17th, you have to give us the confirmation. 17th of August, which is Tuesday.
17th, yeah, I'm fine.
Sure. So ma'am, 17th we can give as a discovery day, because Siddhant, yeah.
Sure, friends. So this is 17th. We'll try and fix up all your calls, which can be telephonic, virtual calls, where Siddhant will come. And if you have any questions with respect to the business model or the property and the location where your property is, we can speak and connect to share and furnish all the information. I thank you all for being with us for the last, I would say, 50 odd minutes. And I'd like to thank you, Siddhant, for this wonderful presentation.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
And I'll request Ashna to kindly take it over for her final closing remarks.
So thank you so much, Siddhant, for joining in today. It was great interacting with you. Thank you so much, Sonia ma'am. Dear friends, thank you so much for sparing time doing registration and attending this particular webinar. Do reach out to us at our business hotline number, which is 97176-83838. We have shared our hotline number as well as email ID in the chat box also. Do reach out to us. Also connect with us at different social handles. We are available at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, as well as LinkedIn. And you want guidance from Gaurav sir and Sonia ma'am, you can get so by joining them at their LinkedIn IDs. Information we have just shared on a screen. Do join them. And today we want to invite you for our Bharat Franchise Show. This is the biggest franchise show ever organized by Franchiseindia team. Today we are inviting you for Maharashtra show, Maharashtra chapter, which will start at 7 p.m. We have invited brands which are looking out expansion in Maharashtra region. So do registration today so that you can join us sharp at 7 p.m. And tomorrow under our business opportunity with Chai webinar series 7 p.m. we are inviting the brand Variety. That's the brand from Ahmedabad. They are already having operational stores in Gujarat city. Tomorrow they will come and talk about how you can become a partner with them for master or unit franchise model. So do registration today so that you can join us tomorrow as well as today. Thank you so much once again for joining in. Have a safe day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, friends.
Thank you. Bye.